BookTube, it's Louise, the big head bookworm. Lovely to see you. Hope you're all well. And happy Thanksgiving. Today is Thursday the 24th of November, which I believe is Thanksgiving. And so I would like to say happy Thanksgiving to everybody that is celebrating it today. I am thinking of you and I am sending you lots and lots of love. I'm also sending lots of gratitude to each and every one of you because you are all marvellous. Never ever doubt yourself, because I don't. I know how fabulous you are. So I am here today with a cuppa and a catch up. I've been away for a couple of weeks because of life, and I thought I should come back and have a little chat and tell you what's been going on in my world so that you know, because you are my friends and you have been there for me. I've also got some books that I have read recently, and I've got one or two books that are new to me that I thought you might like to see as well. So we could do a proper catch up. I have my cuppa in my lovely art mug. Can you see it's got all the art periods on it? It's a fantastic size as well, which is really why I like it. But I also learn as I'm having my cup of tea. Oh, it's that perfect temperature. Oh yes. I also have my homemade cookie, my chocolate chip cookie, which you are more than welcome to help yourself to. It's just in the kitchen, the big yellow tin on the side. There's loads in there, so nip in and get there. The kettle's just boiled as well, so you can make yourself a drink while you're there. So I shall wait. There we go. So I hope you are sitting comfortably. We'll just have a little bit of a chat, and then I'll show you some books, and then you can show me books, and we can chat, and we'll see how we go from there. So I haven't been around recently because of life, because my mum has been poorly, as you all know, and she's been poorly since September. She was diagnosed with uncurable, untreatable cancer in October. That has spread. And my mum's 84 and she's not going to get better. It has got to the stage many times where we thought that was it. We were trying to nurse her in her home, and the medical profession were sending more and more help, and we were getting care in, and there was always somebody there. But then it became unfeasible. It became unfeasible to actually have her in her home. So then we moved her to my sister's, so she left her home. We moved her to my sister. My sister opened her house and her heart and just her, and cared for her, and we all would go and add supplementary caring, and the medical profession were ramping up their care as well. But then last week it became obvious that she was too poorly for that, and she needed 24-hour medical assistance. We were just not, as my sister said, I must have missed that lesson. I must have missed that course that you take where you know how to move somebody in a bed and you know how to do all these things. And we're trying so hard, and we did so well, but we couldn't do it. So then, fortunately in this area we are very blessed with support, but we had a brand new hospice open up. Well, there is a hospice that they moved to brand new purpose-built premises. They opened up on the Monday, and they actually offered her a place the week after, which is phenomenal. There was only about 6 people actually in this huge building actually staying there, and they're slowly filling it up. But they saw in what need she was and what that they could do for her. So they opened their doors and their hearts. And she moved there last week. Last week was a very testing time. I think we were all in my family expecting that call, or that we would be there and it would happen. But fortunately she has stabilised through being there and getting the care that they could provide. She has stabilised. She's still a very, very poorly person. But there is that hope now that she might actually be here until Christmas. We might be able to celebrate Christmas with her. So it is still day by day. But I think we have all let out that breath we didn't realise we were holding. And when you're going through these crisis moments, you don't realise the tension and the stress that you are constantly living with, or rather those people around you can see it in you, but you can't see it, that you're just getting through the days. And I think over the last couple of days we've all gone, oh, actually, there are people that know what they're doing looking after her. And we can be there with the love. But we don't necessarily need to be doing the bits that I'm not trained to be doing. So it has been a very hard time, but there has been light moments, as there always are. And one of the most amazing things that I have had, which I wish my family could have joined in and had as well, was the support of you. And you have been amazing. I have had so many wonderful, wonderful comments that I have read and that I have reread at moments when I've needed them. And I just want to say thank you so much. I could tell the love that was coming out and how genuine and warm-hearted and generous and amazing you all are, and I just want to say thank you. So I know this is a kind of a little soppy moment for BookTube, but it really has made such a difference to me, and I hope you can tell what a difference you've made to me. You really have. So thank you so much. I'm not going to get upset. I've been weeping too much when I was reading those comments because you are so lovely, each and every one of you, which is why homemade chocolate chip cookies, get in there, get one, and we could all sit together. I need to just come round to your houses, basically. Or we should all meet in a bookshop and have one big chat and buy together. That would be fabulous. So talking about books, these are the books that I have been getting me through the last couple of weeks. Now, as you can imagine, they're not kind of literary classics. Oh, no. I just wanted things that I could pick up and just put in my eyes, basically, and that's what I've been reading. So I picked up Star-Crossed by Josephine Angelini, and then I read Dreamless by Josephine Angelini, and then I read Goddess by Josephine Angelini. So this is a YA paranormal, I suppose like Percy Jackson is kind of middle grade, I would say, and the Greek gods and the Greek and the myths. Well, I think this is like the YA version, but with much more romance in it, because it's definitely romantic, not particularly sexual, but definitely romantic. I really enjoyed it for what they are. They are full of the tropes that you hear about in YA. There is insta-love, but then it was supposed to be that they were cursed with this insta-love. And there are the chosen one, and there is beauty abounding everywhere. But then, if you're descendants from Greek gods, you probably are, kind of attractive. So it all kind of made sense in the sense of the story, even though it was very silly. And it really was. And I do love the groups of friends that everybody has in these books. When I was a teenager and I would read about these groups of friends, I used to look around at my friends and think, well, I'm not sure we'd make a great plot. I look at you all and I love you all muchly, but our repartee ain't that witty. Or, we're not all that attractive, let's be honest. So if I was a teenager, I would have loved these books, but at the same time, I would have looked at my friends and myself and thought, good job I wasn't there, because I wouldn't have been able to pick up these things and understand these things, and I was bright, but I wasn't that bright. So yes, anyway, so I did really enjoy them. They were perfect for me at the time. I galloped through them at those moments when I needed to just escape the world. Perfect. And I loved the story. It caught me. They're not great literary, and as I say, there's plot holes and silliness. But they're great for what I needed at the time. Star-Crossed, Dreamless and Goddess was perfect. So I say thank you very much to these three, and I do recommend them as if you want that kind of light-hearted YA fantasy read, and I think you could do a lot worse than picking up those. Again, that's not going to make it on a dust jacket, but I thought they were great. I was listening to An Unkindness of Ravens by Ruth Rendell on my Audible credit, and I picked this one up because this was the first Ruth Rendell I ever read, and I don't know why, always had a fondness of it because of that, and I've really enjoyed it. So I'm going to go through the Ruth Rendells that I have, that my mum gave me. So I'm going to go through those and I'm going to read those. So that was really good. I started, which you can see behind me, Patricia Cornwell's Chaos. I think it was just a bit too heightened. I wanted to read it because I wanted to read it straight away, because if my mum had passed, you know, she'd died, I wouldn't be able to read it because it was our series. But I was kind of reading it in that kind of slightly dramatic tone. This book is important to me. And actually, it's not that well written for that. And I just thought, you know, it's like I'm working myself up for no reason here. So just, there's enough emotion around. I don't need to add to it with dramatic reading. So I put it to one side, and at some point I will pick it up and it will be fine and I will be able to read it and I'll stop being silly. Okay, and so one thing that I was reading whilst visiting my mum this last week, excuse me. You know when that tea is in that perfect temperature and it tastes delicious? Right here. Sorry, I just saw a cat run across the garden, so that's why I looked there. So whilst visiting my mum, sometimes she's relaxed enough with me, she just goes, I'm going to go to sleep now. Okay. And I pick up my book, and the book I've been picking up is Inferno by Dan Brown. So I had bought it with that in mind, that it could be that kind of pick-up book in a hospital or when you're caring for somebody. And you're following the plot, but the plot is so explained to you. He's great that way, isn't he? Oh, what's happening? Oh, quick synopsis. He gives you a quick roundup as to where you are. So I read Inferno by Dan Brown. Now, I didn't realise, actually, until I was about halfway through, actually it's quite a chunker, isn't it? It is 621 pages long, so it's quite a good read. It's quite a big print though. Short chapters. It changes points of view a little bit, but not in a way that is difficult to follow. It's set in Florence. Robert Langdon wakes up in a Florence hospital with no clue how he got there. And it goes from there. And it is based on, you know how they all tend to have a theme? This is Dante's Inferno. Oh, or Dante's Divine Comedy, in particular, the Inferno. I thought it was really great. It was perfect for what I needed. It was absolutely perfect. I think it was better than Angels and Demons. Maybe it's because it was so right for me at that time. I was quite happy to read it. There is a slightly darker edge to this, in that they're talking about, can I say that? I can't really tell you what the theme is of this, because actually I went into it knowing very little, and I liked that. So I'm not going to say what the theme is, but there is a theme in here, and it is a little bleak. I have to say, it is a little bleak. I don't know how true it is with what they're talking about with the statistics and what have you. And I have actually not gone and looked it up. But for those people that have read it, I thought that was quite bleak, and I thought that was an interesting, an interesting idea to play around with by Dan Brown. It really will bring it to attention in some ways, for him to be writing about that. So I thought that was very good. I thought that was interesting. There was also a relationship in this that you are led to believe goes one way, and I was disappointed it hadn't have gone that way. Again, if you've read it, you'll know, in diverse way. That's what I'm talking about. It's kind of it was a diverse relationship, and I was really impressed that he'd done that. I was like, good on you, Dan, that's brilliant, including, you know, kind of different kinds of relationships. It's not just, you know, white folk with white folk, and, you know, men and women and stuff like that. Well done you. And then it was like, but so yeah, so there was that. Let me down a bit there, but I really enjoyed it. You know, it's what it is. It is what it is, and I enjoyed it. That's not the best description. I've looked at the time. I've been going along far too much. Anyway, so I shall whip through the books that I have picked up. So, when my mum went to my sister's, if I come to your house, I will look through your bookshelves. That's just the way I am. I always have a little, not in a nasty way. I just am always fascinated by the other books that people have. And my sister saw me looking, and she said, "Oh, pick up stuff if you want it. We're heaving with books." And I was like, "Well." But then when somebody says that, you can't then get a box out, which is what I wanted to do. So I picked up a couple. I had given her The Essex Serpent by Sarah Perry for her birthday. And she said to me, the 2 best books that I read this year were the 2 books that you gave me for my birthday. Oh yeah, oh yeah. So no pressure for Christmas. So I had bought this and she said it was brilliant. She absolutely loved it. And it's just getting so much attention. And I think it's just recently won an award or went up for an award. So I want to read it sooner rather than later. I love sensational Victoriana, which I believe this is what it is. So that's what I'm going to read. So I'm going to read that very soon. So The Essex Serpent by Sarah Perry. Unfortunately, I am going to have to give it back to her, but you know, not for a while. And then the other book I picked up from their shelf was Murakami's 1Q84, Book 1 and Book 2. And I said to her, God, this doesn't look like it's been opened. She said, I don't think it has. Somebody bought it for her fiancé, her partner. And she said he's never even looked at it. So I was quite content to take that because I thought I'm not, you know, he's not interested in it. He's not going to be reading it anytime soon. And it's one of those that I would like to read. I do like Murakami. I don't love Murakami. But I was quite interested in this story, and it's a big chunky book. At some point I will feel like it. So I was quite pleased with that. So put that on my shelf. The other ones I have picked up. Oh, I've just dropped. One sec. I was watching a video. It's all going on here. I was watching a video, and by Denise somebody. Sorry about that, Denise. I can't remember your channel name, but anyway, she was talking about romance books that she hasn't, romance authors that she hasn't read yet, or romance series she hasn't read yet, which I thought was quite interesting. And she mentioned Jude Deveraux, who I'd never even heard of. So I had a look, and I saw a cheap one online. The Black Lion by Jude Deveraux. It's a kind of historical romance. So I thought, get that. So mass market paperback. It's got a load of stickers on the back. Oh, I wish they wouldn't do that. I also picked up the first in the J.R. Ward Black Dagger Brotherhood novels, which are Dark Lover, which are vampire romances. Now, I've got this one here, which is about number 7 or 8 in the series, and I was like, I don't think I need to read them in order. And then quite a few people in comments went, no, you do need to read them in order. So I was like, grr. So I got this one. So I picked this one up. And my favourite thing about this is, A, handsome chap. The other one, these vampires are hot by vampire genre. I take it that's quite niche, isn't it? Is that a website or a collection of people that like vampires? But I thought, you know, normally they put a quote on from something you might have heard of, you know, but vampire genre about a book. That made me laugh. Actually, I was like, these vampires are hot. So yes, I shall let you know whether they are hot. I don't know. Do you want a hot vampire? You know, I suppose it's better than tepid, isn't it? It's lukewarm. How did you find him? Lukewarm. No, not a praise, isn't it? Praise for Dark Lover. It's not easy to find a new twist on the vampire myth, but Ward succeeds beautifully. Oh, that sounds good. This dark and compelling world is filled with enticing romance as well as perilous adventure. That's how I like my adventure. Perilous. So there we are, J.R. Ward. I'm going to be giving that a go pretty soon. I'm in the mood for some hot vampires. And then the other one I picked up, which is what I've been fancying for ages, looking at the time, oh my lord, is Daisy in Chains by Sharon Bolton. And I am that far from the end. And quite frankly, I'm amazed I'm actually videoing this and I'm not sat reading it, because it's taken me about a day and a half to read this much because it's just great. So I've never read any Sharon Bolton before, and it says all the quotes on it, Sophie Hannah and Paula Hawkins, Girl on a Train, and Linwood Barclay. I haven't read any of them, so I was a bit like, But the idea of this, so it's serial killers in prison, but did he do it? Dun, dun, dun. Set in southwest England, which I love, and I know the areas that they're talking about, so I quite like that as well. So, but I have to say, I'm this far in it. It's great, and it's cheap in a lot of our supermarkets at the moment. So if you see it, I recommend picking it up because I'm really enjoying it. at the moment. And there we go. Super long video, so I'm sorry about that. But I haven't been around for a while, and I just wanted to share with you what's been going along with me and my family, and some of the books I've been reading, and some of the books that I have got new. And there we go. It's been lovely, BookTube. I have thoroughly enjoyed this. How's my tea? Oh, it's still good. Still good temperature. Yeah, so I have loved this. So it's been lovely to get back in touch with you and have this little chat. And I look forward to it not being so long and coming back, hopefully, and seeing you soon. All right then, BookTube. Much love. See you again soon.